He's the head coach at Loyola of Chicago, had a great run in the tournament. He's Porter Moser, joins us on the program. Coach, how are you?
I'm great, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Or where are you, I should say?
I'm back in Chicago. I headed out after Sunday after the game, and I just got back with my family and watched the game with my three boys, my daughter, and my wife at my house last night. Break
down the game last night. What did you see from a coaching perspective?
I tell you what, Dan, you saw elite defenses, and with especially in the beginning, just how long they are and just fundamental. They close out so well. But the thing about Villanova's offense and Michigan's, they go downhill with their drives. I mean, they space you, but when they drive, like DiVincenzo, I mean, he's not just a shooter. When he drives, he puts it, we call it body up, body in. He drops his shoulder, and he goes downhill. And then they kick it. They're very unselfish. They space the floor. Everybody can shoot it. And that's so hard when you get all five guys that can shoot the three, because then that downhill driving becomes so effective. And I thought Michigan was, really good. I know Villanova was just almost impossible to beat last night, but Michigan, I saw firsthand, their defense is just really, really good.
What did you know about DiVincenzo?
It's funny, Dan. During the year, I saw him play a game about 2 weeks before the season ended, and he had one of the same kind of first halves. I'm trying to think who it was against. It was in the Big East, and it was and I just remember how passionate the kid is. I remember how quick a trigger and confident he is. But I also said, he's just not this kid that can just shoot it. He can shoot with range. He can make contested shots, but he can go downhill off the bounce. And if you saw last night, he hit a couple threes, and then he had Michigan's defense kind of leaning, and then that's when he went downhill and finished at the rim. He's not one of those guys like me that finish at the bottom of the net. He gets down there and he finishes at the rim. And I think he's really good, high energy, competitive as hell.
Could you watch last night's game without not thinking about being there in the national title game?
Dan, I had a bunch of my close friends that know me well. They one of them texted me like, don't think about what if, think about what is. And he's a coaching friend, and I thought that was really good advice. And because it was tough, I'll sit back, months or weeks from now and just kind of reflect on what we did for our university and our program. But you're in that moment, and all you can think about is the game in front of you and trying to get where you want to go, and that's to win it all. And it was tough. We had a 10-point lead, and we had a barrage of turnovers. We had a 5-minute stretch. I thought that really cost us. But, I was watching it, and, it was tough. It was tough, but you had to give credit to Michigan and Villanova. Those are the better teams, and they deserve to be there the last night.
The three-point shot in college basketball, what it is now, what it means now, and where are we headed, do you think?
I think it's such a weapon, and you're seeing more and more teams use it because it's not as far as, with kids' strength and range now, the NBA three is commonplace range when you stop and look at the tapes and you see where these guys at our level are shooting it. But where it's at right now, you got to utilize it. I can't stand the 17-foot, 18-foot shot right in front of the three. I want to space, and I want to space the shooter. I want to recruit shooters. For what we did this year at Loyola, we were trying to play with at least 4 guys on the floor that could shoot the three at all times. And I think it's exciting. I think it spaces the floor. It creates better offense. I think with the new rules the last couple of years that they implemented with the no hand checking, the freedom of movement, you're seeing better offenses, driving, kicking, and I think it's a weapon that I think you got to be. We love utilizing it.
Porter Moser, the Loyola-Chicago head coach, joining us, Continental Tire Coach's Corner. How many schools have reached out to you or your agent?
Let's just get right to it, right?
Yeah, I waited. I waited 5 minutes, but let's not kid anybody. You're a hot ticket right now.
Well, right now I hate to be like this. I love my AD. I love Chicago. They've reached out for we're talking, and that's kind of where it is right now. And I tell you, there's just we spent so much energy, my staff and I, building this from a grassroots buildup. And I feel like we got it in a good place that can even move forward. And so I really haven't thought about it. Like, I'm honest to God, Dan, the through this tournament, and then it kind of all of a sudden the questions have been coming yesterday and today. And I sat down and had breakfast with my ADC Watson, who I really like. We got a great relationship, and then and we're going to go from there.
Yeah, I know. I hate this time of the year. I love the story of Loyola-Chicago, but every year it feels like there's a school that has a run, and then the coach is not going to stay. And I know it's a business as well, and you got to do what's right for all your kids. But hopefully it's a Shaka Smart situation where he stayed at VCU for a few more years, and you got a good team coming back and a chance to do some more damage there. So I know it's a lot to think about, but I sort of
no, it is, Dan. I hate to interrupt you. You're right. You're right. I had a great coaching friend who has stayed at a school at this level, and he said, "Don't run from happiness." And I'm happy. I am. Now I hope all this moves in the right direction for my family and I. But I'm happy. We've spent so much time investing. I do believe this. I played at a Jesuit school. I played at Creighton, and I watched how the meteoric rise of their basketball program and how the community and everything. And Creighton will never go backwards. I mean, that program is just skyrocketing. And there's a lot of them like that, Gonzaga. And we've got a lot of work to do to get to that point. But we made a huge step this year. And I'm from here. I'm a Catholic kid from Chicago who grew up here as a Chicago sports fan. I love all this diehard sports fan. And so I am happy, and I'm hoping this moves in the right direction.
What famous person do people mistake you for?
Let me see. Who's got the biggest ears in showbiz? Let's see. Let me wear my college friends. It was hard to wear the Final Four hat. I don't wear hats well. I put my Final Four hat on after we beat Kansas State, and it just looked like I had two frisbees popping out the side of my head. It's just a tough team that I got.
Do you look like it? Did somebody say you look like somebody? Anybody? You never been mistaken for somebody?
No,
Wow.
No. I'm trying to think. I haven't. I mean, I haven't.
You need a winter hat. You don't wear a baseball hat, like a Final Four, a winter hat that you can wear that kind of cover up the ears a little bit there, Coach.
That's a great idea. One of those, maybe earmuffs, just throw them back down. The Royal Rambler earmuffs that might hide them.
Hey, congrats. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully you have some opportunities there to decide upon and, reload for next year.
Dan, thanks so much. Big fan always, and thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Coach. That's Porter Moser, Loyola-Chicago head basketball coach. Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Whether you're a student, alumni, or all-around fan, Continental Tire has a tire that can get you to the big game. Did you know they're a proud supporter of 32 college basketball teams across the United States? It's true. Continental Tire shares your passion for the game. Show them your passion using the hashtag #OdeToBasketball. For more information, visit ContinentalTire.com.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.